All right, here we go. Do not put anything on here that's going to violate copyright. We already got copyright strike for RRR. And we're live, by the way. Let me see. I think we're rolling. We
Wait, are
can't
we?
say
Yeah,
RRR. Do not say RRR at all. Don't say it. No, you
I
can
don't
say it
under.
all you want to.
I was gonna say I don't even
I'm
know
just
what's
messing with
going
you.
on right now.
You guys probably don't even know what that is.
Nah.
If you want me to, I'll explain it to you later. But anyway, for everyone watching us live, we are here on Utreon, so we could actually hold guns like this. This 10 millimeter awesomeness. What is happening
Oh,
here?
I'm
Uh,
jealous.
I knew. Oh no, this is exactly what I knew was gonna happen here. Because I can't control the audio. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So so professional. All right. So yes, we can hold guns like this high point 10 millimeter JXP. I think you've seen this, Joe. You've seen this thing.
Yeah, I got to
There you
handle that
go.
this
Let's see
weekend.
who else. Oh, there you go. Dark's got. Okay, what is that? That's
Beretta
the
M9
Beretta, the M9 A12. Whatever.
A3
Yeah.
Beretta.
Right. Okay. Oh, are you waiting for me to say it? I'm waiting for you to say it.
Yeah, my bad. Like, but I got the can on it, of course,
Hmm.
with the old Nielsen device, and
Hmm.
this is unfortunately there's an O light on it.
Oh,
This
why
is
is
the
that unfortunate?
man. I don't really rock the O light. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, you hate Olay. Okay. All right.
Not
Nothing
not a
wrong with
fan
that.
of
Nothing wrong
bad
with that.
experience with Olight with
Okay,
me.
where's your gun, Joe? Where's your gun? I got you on the screen. There you go.
I got this is a
Smith and
Stoger
Wesson.
S.
Oh,
Nope,
I don't know.
Stoger SDR9 optics.
I'm 0 for 0.
Yeah, that's all
somebody's
good.
audio. Somebody's audio's clipping there. Okay.
That
So
that was me.
anyway, if you're listening to this on audio, you want to join us live, go to Utreon / Who Moved My Freedom. If you're watching this, we put it up on YouTube, and then we do it here live on Utreon, then we put it on YouTube later. So if you see it over there, and you want to join us live, it's Utreon / Who Moved My Freedom. That's the way to go. Shout out to Mr. Big Kid. I see Mr. Big Kid in the chat. We got to get him on the show again soon. He's fun. Yeah.
Mr. Big Kid is a hell of a guy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so listen, if you guys are ready here, let me see. I think everything looks good. I am gonna kick this off, and we'll talk about all things. Let's go into it.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not so free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, here we go. We are live. Let's see. Let's get these jazz hands in the air. Let's get that going first of all. Jazz hands going. Hold on. Keep it going. There you go. Jazz hands. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 967 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Of course, with my guest, Joe from Shooting Gallery NE. There he goes.
What's cracking lacking?
What's up? What's up? And we also have DLD After Dark. Dark of DLD After Dark.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Honestly, be back on, man.
Yeah, it's good. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. The two bad boys of the gun world.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not supposed to laugh, I guess, when I say that.
I was gonna say who has between me and him, who has more channel strikes? Just throwing it out there.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
probably
This guy.
I'm gonna say Joe because you got your whole TikTok deleted, right?
That's a different platform. We're talking YouTube here.
Oh,
Okay?
YouTube. Oh, you
Yeah.
don't want to claim any? You don't want to
Yeah,
claim
we're not
TikTok?
gonna talk about the TikTok. I got a backup account. You know.
Yeah, you're banned in China, man. Chinese are looking for you. That balloon was searching for Joe.
I know.
Trying to figure out where he's at. Mr. Big Kid said he finally signed up with Utreon. Congratulations. The folks out there should all go follow him. That's cool to see more folks coming over like Mr. Big Kid onto Utreon. So awesome. Yeah. So and shout out. Let me see. I'll see who's in here real quick. Shout out to everyone who's out there. I see 42 Chill put a bunch of stuff in here, and Jade Grew is out there. So anyone else who wants a shout out, let me know. Let's well, first of all, haven't seen you two dudes in a while, so let's start there. What's up with you guys?
Been a minute. Go ahead. You go first. Sorry, you go first. SG&E.
Oh, is that what we're calling him? SG&E?
I like Signe.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I've been going crazy at work, man. I've been so busy in the shop. So I'm just trying to get my bearings on stuff, and just got back from the Great American Outdoor Show this week. It was a fun time, and yeah. So I'm just getting ready to get back into things.
Right. Excuse that. I got the windows open here so that I can actually breathe in this van. So I don't know if you probably picked up that very loud vehicle passing by.
It was just a little.
Yeah. I live out in the country, so it's usually quiet. But people cut the what is it they cut off of their cars? The
catalytic converter.
Catalytic converter. Yeah, they cut it off.
So they're rolling around like a Toyota Celica, and they just cut the cat, making
a lot of noise for no reason. But there's no inspection, so where you guys are, I don't know if there's inspections that you have to do every year.
It's a living hell, absolute living hell.
Yeah, I hated it when I lived in New Jersey and New York. So
I could imagine it would be terrible.
Yeah,
but I'll be honest, my tags on my car have been dead for like the past year and a half, and it's not I can't afford it or anything. I'm just so lazy, and I haven't done it. I'll get around.
Okay, so what? So you don't drive? You don't drive anywhere?
Oh,
huh? You drive? So you driving dirty?
Yeah, right.
You just roll it around.
Yep.
Yeah. One of these days they'll catch you out there and lock you up for killing the planet.
Yeah, it was top in the world. He was like, dude, I don't think I've ever seen tags this dead with a car like on the road. It was like, you let me go.
It's a pain. I hate when I lived in New York and they did those inspections. In New Jersey, I think was even worse. I hated that. Shout out to Chamber Defense. I see Chamber Defense out there. He says, yo, Joe SNGE and Dark and Hank. So there you go.
I think I need to move. I need to get out of New England so I can just go shooting gallery. So it's much easier for people to abbreviate.
I would SNG. I don't know. I don't like that. Sugarna. Let's call him Sugarna.
Sugarna.
Yeah.
It's
huh?
It's kind of like Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Something.
I'm more of an East Coast guy, so I like Tupac and everything, but I was more of on the bad boy side of that death row.
If we call you Sugarna, you're gonna just have to deal with it, man. There's no.
This for anybody that thinks Tupac is a West Coast dude, they're tripping because Tupac was born in Baltimore. He grew up in Baltimore and New York City, and then he flew over to the West Coast and was like, West Side? Like, no.
Yeah, he did it. He went to school. He went to school in New York and everything. Him and Biggie and Jay-Z all went to school together, School of Performing Arts, I think.
Yeah.
So,
hey, am I like on a slight delay or lag? Do you guys?
I can hear you okay. Maybe Sugarna over there can't hear you properly. Mr. Big Kid says, coming to Tennessee yet, Joe? This is where we're all gathering.
I don't know. I got a couple irons in the fire, so it all depends.
Yeah, I'm all about Florida. I'm gonna advocate for Florida.
I'm with you there, dude.
Yeah. But I think Mr. Big Kid's right though. Lots of people going to Tennessee. I've seen a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Didn't Guns and Gadgets? Isn't he Tennessee too?
I don't know if he did or not. I think he did. I know he was talking about it.
Yeah. Lola says that Dark does have a slight delay. Jen Champ is out there as well, and Chamber Defense said not to be confused with Suge Knight.
Yes, Chamber Defense is he's good people's. He's both my and Joe's follower. He probably follows you too, Hank.
Oh, okay. All right. Very cool. Thanks. Yeah. We probably have a lot of crossover and stuff. So yeah, I didn't ask you what's up with you, Dark. What's going on with you? I know Joe's been on. I can't remember the last time, but he's been on in this year, right, Joe?
Yeah, I was on New Year's Eve with
there you
Dave
go.
from High Point.
Yeah. So, but we haven't seen you in a while. What's been going on with you, Dark?
Yeah, it's been a while. I've had a little bit of growth in the channel, so
Congratulations.
appreciate that. I'm up to just under 4,000 subscribers, and which a year ago I was at 1,000 or so. So it's decent growth, and I started a business as well.
Okay. Oh, cool. What kind of business? Are you a pimp now, or
on the side?
Companionator. Let's get that. Let's get that designation.
Companionator? What the hell is a companionator?
It's like the PC version of a pimp.
I've never heard.
Escort. A male escort.
yeah. Gigolo.
I will escort gun guys.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he has an OnlyFans on the side just for gun guys.
Yes, only tactical fans. That's my.
Yeah. Chamber of Defense says yes, he does follow all of us. There you go. And Mr. Big Kid says that he's just went into a contract on a house. Finally gonna have a private MBK range. So there you go.
No.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. So what is the business? What is the business? I think I know what this business is, but go ahead. Go for it.
You'll know, and not just to pimp my stuff, but just because I believe the movement.
No, pimp your stuff, man. Listen, if Crump was here, he would have been pimping his stuff every other word.
Yeah.
So you cannot out pimp Crump. Okay.
Yeah. True. That's true.
Yes. Okay.
We know that for gun building, it's made quite difficult due to the gay TF, and because of them, they've continuously brought on rule changes that they pretend is legislation. And in August, they made us separate frames and jigs from 80% unfinished frames and receivers. So at that point, what they did is they kind of made a new market for jigs. So I just selling polymer 80 jigs. I was polymer 80 dealer, so I'd get jigs directly shipped from polymer 80, literal freaking pallets, and I would just resell them on my website, which is DLD hardware. And what I do is I take the jig, I throw in the drill bits, I completely saran wrap it, or not saran wrap, it's actually like the PVC wrap, and then I write F the ATF on every single one of them. So I've sold 2,000.
Oh, Lord. Oh, wait, hold on. Show that again? That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks, DLD. Yeah. Joe, he's never going to get visited by the ATF ever. IRS, everybody is coming. It's coming. All departments, post office is going to show up there one day.
Department of Agriculture.
Yeah. They're all coming.
Yeah. They're going to say you don't have your proper restaurant license. Everyone's going to come at you, man. You think not getting your inspection on your car is bad?
Yeah, they will come.
Yeah, there's dudes at the ATF at the ATF glory hole, and they're over there like, oh, we're going to get this DLD guy. We're going to catch him. We're going to get him good.
That's like a real thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah.
I had no idea. So Babyface Pete was the one that told me about it, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna get glory hole by the ATF." I was like, "He's like."
Yeah. Oh, he wasn't kidding, dude.
It's pretty. I mean, the dude is still an agent.
Yes. We had Vincent Sheffield. I don't know if you've ever seen when we have Vincent Sheffield on. He was a former ATF agent.
Yep.
And he's
a character.
Yeah, he's awesome. I like him. People get mad when we have him on, but he's
and that's cool. The thing. People just get this oh my God, you're having a former ATF agent. He's I've listened to all the shows he's been on, and he is a pro gun dude. Got screwed over by his employer, and You know, I like him. I do.
I think he has a certain amount of loyalty to the ATF, which I would expect. That I think he was a former Marine, and obviously ATF agent and all that. And he has his loyalties and all that. And how can you fault? I can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
There's some people who just automatically hate anyone that's in law enforcement. And I mean, I guess I understand where people are coming from with that, but I have friends who are in law enforcement. They're good people. Not everyone in law enforcement is bad or against us, for example. So I'm not going to spend my life like hating every single person in law enforcement. And even though the guy was an ATF agent, he is mostly on our side. But even on our side, everyone's not on our side.
Yeah.
Facts.
So why hate on him? But the thing I was saying, Dark, is when he was on, I think that Patrick was on, and me and Patrick brought up the glory hole stuff, and he just started laughing, and he was like, "How do you guys even know about this?"
Oh, so he knew.
Yeah, he confirmed it. He was like, "How do you guys even know?"
That's
And he
crazy.
knows who it is and everything. He was just, yeah. If you go back and see, there was I don't think I ever made a snippet because I was like, I don't know if I really want to.
That's towing the line a little bit too thin.
I was always curious of was the ATF agent's glory hole, was his side the crotch side or the mouth side?
Why were you curious? What side do you want to be, Dark?
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, Lord.
I can't hear you. Whatever you're saying, you broke up. Sorry. What did you say?
I said the ATF, whatever side it is, they deserve both sides. So I'll leave it at that. But so I'm the same way. I don't have total disregard for law enforcement. I think the people that kind of think like that are kind of limited in their thinking, and there's a lot of like absolutists out there, which I understand the way they think about it, but they're like any law enforcement officer, any law enforcement agency, there's no way that they could be pro, our human rights.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand their line of thinking on that, but like, come on, like I've had police officers where I've had interactions with where they've literally informed me of my rights or affirmed them. There's great cops out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give them a chance.
Yeah. Did you want to say something about that, Joe?
No, small little tidbit. I actually wanted to be a police officer when I was younger, and you couldn't. That nowadays, I wouldn't want to be a cop.
I think it's a really tough job, but I do agree with you. I agree with what Dark is saying, and so for example, I live out in the country, and we have sheriffs. We've got a sheriff and deputies and stuff like that, and we don't have those problems, and it's like this is a small town. We know those guys, and
Like glory,
huh?
glory hole problems.
No, we don't have the kinds of problems that people have with sheriffs and deputies. Like out in the country like this, I think in cities you typically have issues, right? Because of cities and all these multiple police departments and them competing. So even that video that's out there of me getting pulled over, that was done by a sheriff's department, but that sheriff's department comes out of Gainesville, out of Alachua County. And in Gainesville, there's about 5 police departments. So
Really?
you have Gainesville GPD, Gainesville Police Department, Alachua Sheriff's Office, which is out there. You've got the University of Florida Police. You've got the Santa Fe Police, and then there's Highway Patrol.
Damn.
All in this little, and it's not even a city. I don't consider Gainesville a city. It's just a town. It's a college town.
I was going to say,
yeah, out here where I live though, it's just my sheriff and deputies, and they were mad. I'm in the sticks, and they were mad about me being pulled over and everything. And even my sheriff told me that him and his wife is a deputy for another county, and she was driving, and the two of them got pulled over, and that same department tried to disarm her. So when he saw me, he was just like really upset. He was really mad, that they were still out there doing that. And he was like, they even do it to us, and we're in law enforcement with them. So I wish people, like, for the folks out there who think just everyone in law enforcement is bad, that's not true. And here in Florida, I know we don't have constitutional carry yet, But recently there was a video. If you guys go look on YouTube, there's a video where the legislature here is now pushing for constitutional carry, and there was a bunch of deputies, a bunch of sheriffs, and all that there who are pro that.
Yeah.
So, let's not put everyone in the same bucket, It's not a good thing in general to put everyone in the same bucket. But
Totally.
and I used to be a fan of the FBI and all that. Lola and I have gone to the FBI training academy, all that stuff. It sucks to see what the FBI is up to as well, It's not just the ATF that does a lot of bad stuff, it's the FBI too, man. And a lot of other agencies.
FBI is probably most notorious for,
being
politicized. Yeah, and I mean, like, pretty considerable evil stuff,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much you want to get into, but
I mean, if you think about what went down with Twitter, that's bad in itself, right there. With Twitter and Hunter Biden, that's bad. I mean, and that's not a conspiracy theory. That's facts at this point.
Yeah, proven. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's horrible. The FBI. I mean, maybe like 20 years ago in America, if the FBI was involved in something like that, people would have lost their jobs.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot of people at the FBI would have been kicked out. They would have been, run out of there, right? But we're not seeing none of that's happening. Yeah.
Right now, like, the FBI is running one of the largest open child networks in the world, and they're using it as a way to bait people in to catch them. But I understand that, and you're still making these
horrible things. Yeah.
No good.
There's a lot of bad stuff going on out there. Okay, let's get to some stuff here, because I know there's since I got these two titans in here of the gun podcasting world with me, and there's a lot of questions and stuff. So let me see if I can get to some of, and if people have questions, let us know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. First of all, JCP90 says, Dark, can you show Krinkov 556? Where is it? Krinkov 556.
Hold up. I gotta enter the vault.
You gotta go to the vault. Oh boy.
Hold up.
Why does his vault have a key, Joe?
I have a key.
Let me. Oh, he's got a key. Oh, okay.
The cheapest.
Awesome. OPSEC, as Babyface says. Don't show your key. Now someone's gonna copy your key, man.
I was gonna say I have this. I actually have the same exact one that he has.
Oh, you do?
my safe cabinet, whatever you want to call it, is over capacity so bad. Like I just bought a new rifle around my birthday, and it is just like I have to strategically place that rifle in there because I just have it's just not. Yeah, it's a space issue. It's a good issue to have, but I'm like afraid to put a scope on it because I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to fit it.
Yeah. Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. All right, so we are back here. Let's see. Let's get these guys loaded up. Okay, you got Dark is back. Let's see. Let's go full screen to Dark here, so you can show off this.
First off, if they knew that I had a 5.56 crank, they got to be one of my viewers, and I love that. So thank you for joining. I posted it on YouTube. I was coming on here. So
awesome.
Which side is the serial number on? Okay, so this is it. By the way, if they need a key to get in my stack on, you are the worst.
I know. Go ahead. Sorry, you just cracked me up with that one. Go ahead.
The Arsenal SLR 106, and I took off the the standard Arsenal like power holding stock, and I put the whatchamacallit, the triangle stock on it. But a lot of people say it's not a crank because it's 5.56. I don't know. What say you?
Oh, this is a good question.
I'd call that a crank.
Okay, Joe's saying it's a crank. And you say it's a crank, right? DLD?
I it is a crank, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's hear from the people. What do you guys think? Is it a crank or is it not a crank? Now, let me see what I think. I would say that yeah, it's a crank. It's just a 5.56 crank. And
Yeah.
here's the thing: is it a pistol or an SBR? If it's an SBR, then it's a crank.
It's an SBR.
Yeah,
Then it's a crank, as far as I'm
that's how I
concerned.
classify.
Yeah.
If it was a
Yeah, that's
pistol, I'd be like, it's just
Yeah, not really a crank. Yeah, not really a crank.
Yeah.
So, does it have to be 5.45? I mean, and then you can't even get friggin' 5. Well, how's the 5.45 situation in your opinion? In both of you guys.
I have yet to see 5.45 in the shop. We've had a couple of the Gen 2 Galil Aces that IWI makes come in that were rifles in 5.45, and like we barely had ammo to sell with that.
Yeah. I mean, I have a 5.45 bullpup AK.
I remember that.
But it is I'm scarce on ammo. I don't even shoot that gun because I'm like I'm not going through my.
You might have to talk to Mr. Babyface P because he's allegedly rolling pretty deep with that 5.45.
With 5.45. Okay.
Yeah,
He's always looking for 5.45. He's always looking.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't would ever actually part with it because like once if you got a whole bunch of 7 and 6 or spam cans, crates, and just keep it. Just keep it, or sell it to Hank.
For reasonable prices, I'm in. Yeah. I've got a spam can that I will never open. Yeah, it's just a big heavy paperweight, which one day like fell on and like hurt Lola's foot or something, and she was so mad.
Yeah.
Not. And I was like, that's my this is a very precious container.
Yeah, she had. I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
Is it 1,080 round cans?
It's the big green one that's like stamped in Russian or whatever.
Yeah. I think they came in like 720s and 1080s, something like that.
Question. Yeah, I have to go look at that and see. Anytime Lola sees that thing, she's got nothing but bad stuff to say about it. She remembers that pain.
Oh yeah, you're never gonna let that. That's never gonna be lived down.
So as far as the availability of 5.45 ammo, I do know that like other companies are taking time to, like PSA is either cranking out some or going to be cranking out some, and I know if you're desperate, like there is Hornady and other companies making it, but you're paying super premium. Well, I fear that we'll never go back to like the 6 spam can days where you could just buy a crate.
Oh man, I hope we do. But yeah, that's gonna take some serious politics. Is gonna have to happen.
Yeah,
I think for that, and I think PSA is probably our best bet here in America because any companies that do make that stuff, it's gonna be expensive here. So
whole box with 10 magazines for $2.99. They got on the
42 Chill says $129 for 1280. Okay, this is a long time ago prices. I'm assuming that's not now. I don't think so.
I'll let your boy.
Yeah, I don't think that's now prices. Let us know out there what's now prices on 5.45. And Chamber Defense said Mikhail would say it's a crank. There you go.
Wow, that's a compliment.
Yeah. So, yeah, what's Joe throwing out? What you got over there?
Oh yeah, this is my latest. This is my Remington Micro 7. It was a collaboration between Remington and AAC. It's a 300 blackout, bolt action, 300 blackout, threaded, 5/8 by 24. So, if once I move out of Mass and I get suppressor heavy, this thing is going to be the quietest bolt action this side of the block. Can't wait.
Yeah. We got to start that campaign to get you out of Mass, man. We got.
I'm a free agent right now.
What do we need to do? What are we supposed to do, Dark? Like, how do we get him out?
I think honestly he needs to go to like a some state of freedom and just run a bunch of machine guns, cans on them, and then we'll help. What we'll do, we could do like a give, send, go, right? And
I
you
did
know,
that last time I was in Florida at Hank's, actually, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "Yeah, I think I want to." Yeah, this is officially sealed the deal. I don't really care about the long drive it took where I was at, but yeah, no,
and then
I'm
back home.
Was
And
that wasn't your first time shooting machine guns though? You've shot it at different
no,
shows, right?
no, yeah, I've shot machine guns before, but that was the first time
yeah,
I've ever shot a Sten. So thank you, Walter,
Oh,
Savior
okay.
of
Yeah, that's
Firearms,
all. Yeah, Walt. Yeah.
forever in my debt.
You're invited, of course, Dark, at some point, you know.
I
Get
would
you.
love to. I would be honored to,
Yeah,
man.
you know, if you want to give up the P80 empire of you know,
Hopefully it
of
doesn't.
the jigs.
Hopefully it doesn't downpour, and then we gotta go into his,
Oh.
Hank's conductor conduit, lightning, and we're like standing there. Oh, all this lightning is coming down. I'm like, we're in a giant metal conductor. Like,
Yeah,
how is
you'll
this?
never feel it. It's okay. You won't feel it.
Oh yeah.
You'll
I'll
just
never
wake up
feel
in
it.
heaven.
I would go.
Yeah, that's the way you go. Yeah, it's consider yourself like being, you know, like you're in the transporter, you know? You're getting beamed up.
Yeah, beam me up, Scotty. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
a little
yeah,
pop-
no, I'm kind of at the point now where if I get an opportunity, I'm gonna take the leap of faith and I'm gonna do it, and I cannot wait. And I'll tell you right now, PSA is gonna be getting a lot of my money once I get all my stuff figured out, and there'll be boxes upon boxes of high cap mags and things I can't have here, showing up to a PO box.
I mean,
The only thing I always worried about was the logistics of getting all my guns and stuff down there, because I got like probably 9 hours of travel where I could go to jail if I got pulled over just from driving through, like, Jersey, DC, New York, anything.
that's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I think that, well, your best advice on that, just since we jumped on that subject, is as long as you are traveling through states and everything, you know, is being transported properly in terms of like separate, you know, ammunition separated and stuff like that. I think they can't do anything to you. So what I would do is get a U-Haul, move all your stuff, and only stop at like a rest stop to take a nap or something like that, and keep it trucking.
Yeah, I think what I might do is just like ship all my guns to an FFL and just travel down with like one pistol and do my thing, because places I've
but you don't have
planned
to
it
do
out.
that though. You don't have to do that because now all of the What are you saying, Dark?
I said that's anti-freedom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because all of that stuff is going to have to then go through background checks.
Yeah,
You know, which you've already done, obviously, right? You know, and like I'm an FFL and everything, but then for all of that stuff coming in and going through, and then don't forget, man, if you have, so let's say that's 20. I don't know how big your collection is. I'm gonna assume it's over 100. Just go with me on that, regardless, right? Just for the street cred, it's like 1,000 guns. You don't want 1,000 guns. You don't want to get background checked on 1,000 different things.
Oh yeah, no, they'd
ATF
be like,
is
"What
showing up."
Yeah.
$2 a check.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it also so even like, let's say the FFL that does that is me. You know, we're boys and everything. I still have to actually pay every time I background check someone.
Yeah.
Oh, so I couldn't get the Hank Strange discount on that one?
Oh, you would get a bill. Because I'm gonna have to pay that bill.
Yeah. So the next check, the FFL or any associate with the G number that's allowed to process the NICS form 73. When you crank that through the NICS check, it charges.
Oh, what happened? How did we lose him?
We just lost him.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
How did that happen? Oh, there you go.
This may have fixed. Sorry.
You just cold went out.
Dude, I'm issue with my Wi-Fi, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. Yeah, now your audio's a little off too, but it's cool. I put us all up in here. It's good. Yeah, don't stress it.
But real quick, so basically, it charges the FFL $2 for the NICS check. That's purchase a gun, you'll see a $2 line item on the receipt as well.
Yeah.
If I back out, can I back out
Yeah,
and come
yeah,
right back?
absolutely. Yeah, I'll answer. Just dial back in or restart your computer or whatever you need to do. We got
Yeah,
Okay,
you.
cool. I'll be
because
right.
it's
Mhm.
weird though because I didn't know a charge it was $2 because I know transfer fees for like online stuff. If we get stuff, people like get guns shipped to the store. I think the transfer fee is between like $40 and $50 around there.
Yeah,
So
typically the FFL could set that, and like, but the FFL themselves are paying a set fee for that processing every time they process. And obviously, you
oh
could process more than one thing, at a time, but you're paying a fee. But what happens is that everyone sets that fee according to what their situation is. So, for example, gun stores don't like you buying something online and coming to them to pick it up. So they always jack that up, they'll do like 40, 50
oh
bucks or something like that,
yeah.
right? As a tax that you're going through them. And then some other people, it might be 30 bucks or, whatever. It's really a fee that you could control yourself, but
Didn't know
ultimately
that.
you do have to pay for the processing. Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
we get
All
a,
right. So now
we get a bill.
that'd be a big bill for me if I had to get all my stuff transferred. God damn it. Think.
I think like Dark was saying, the way to do it, rent a U-Haul, put your stuff in there and drive down, dude.
Mm.
Just drive down and just, you're in the U-Haul. So, maybe hopefully you could just get through those states without even stopping. But,
Oh yeah.
there's nothing wrong with you stopping for gas and all that kind of stuff or anything. If you don't do anything wrong, you can't get in trouble. Even if you do, the federal law says you have the right to transport through these states.
Yeah. Safe passage.
Yeah, as long as you're not staying in that state. Now, if you stopped and stayed in a hotel, that's a different story, right? So that's where you really have to be careful with this stuff because depending on and I'm not a lawyer, none of us are lawyers here, but depending on where it is, they may go, "Oh, well, this is you stopping here." And so I'll give you a story. There were these guys from Georgia that had a jewelry store in Georgia, so they had guns. They had to be worried carrying jewelry and stuff like that, so they had a CCW in Georgia. But for some reason, they went to New York to do business for their jewelry stuff, and they went with their guns, right? So they went with the guns to New York, which, yeah,
Bad move. But
that's
just
not a good move that they went to New York with these guns. But they didn't take the time to look up the laws, and they just went to New York with these guns. So when they stopped, they were in a hotel room, and the guy that had the gun left it in the safe of the hotel room and then went to do whatever jewelry deal they were doing. And I don't think that he locked the safe or somehow the maid came in and the maid got into that safe. Either he didn't lock it or whatever happened there. She saw that gun. She called the cops. He got arrested. Gun got seized, right?
But
So
here's the
that's not,
question with
and that's
that
not
though.
traveling through. That's not traveling through to New York. Maybe they would go, oh, you're staying in a hotel. You're a resident there for that time period. Go ahead.
So here's my caveat with that.
Hmm.
Why is the maid going in a safe?
I 100% agree with you.
Okay, all right. I was
Yeah.
like, that's all I got of it. It's like, okay, so why
It's
is the maid
possible
going in
that
a
they
safe?
didn't lock the safe or something properly, right?
Yeah.
And she saw this open safe or something and went in there and she saw it. But listen, when you're doing this stuff, you need to think about what you're doing and where you're doing it. Now, ultimately, New York has to leave. So one of my friends, who was a combat veteran, he lived in Connecticut and he was an Uber driver. He's a white guy, and he was in the army. He picked up this affair as an Uber driver that he took into Harlem, black guy, and he dropped that guy off. Everything was cool, and then he was leaving Harlem, and he got pulled over for being a white guy in a big SUV in Harlem, driving while white, I guess, and so
Facts.
in his bag he had a Glock in like a backpack. So we had these backpacks, and you can have like a pocket or whatever for your Glock. So he told them he had a Glock, which I would have never done.
Let
And
them find.
they couldn't even find it. They were going through the bag. They couldn't even find it. He showed them where it was, which I also would have never done.
Hmm.
People will lighten the repercussions. Let them find it, man. And look, I hate to let them do the job and let them find it, and just pray and keep your butt cheeks tight. Shit.
So here's what happened. They locked him up. They seized that gun. They let him go. He's a combat vet and everything. That might have helped grease the wheels with New York, and they let him go. But really and truly, he was not stationary in New York. So what they did, they had no rights to even take that gun from him. But they let him go, but he could never get that gun back. And he never will. New York's probably destroyed it at this point, right?
Yeah.
But really they had to let him go. And in my opinion, they should have given him his property back because he's in transit. Now with these guys, because they stopped and stayed in that hotel, is a different story. And they should have just been better about the whole thing. If you're going to leave something locked up in a safe, make sure it's locked up. I would have done something completely different. But also be aware of what you're doing and don't even... In New York, my suggestion is don't even take things because just New York just works in... And I grew up there. It just works in a really crazy way.
Yeah, it's totally different. And like when I used to travel a lot. And when I traveled, what I would do is like I would almost always go to Texas. So when I'm going to Texas, bring guns on the plane, no problem, no big deal. But if I was going to Cali or New York or something like that, I just literally would not carry. Now that's kind of me breaking my own rules of not having a firearm. I would always have other tools with me, but it's just not worth it, man. I mean, their story going to checking their baggage. Let's say you're flying from Virginia, where I'm at, to New York. They check a firearm in their checked baggage lawfully, and then they arrive at JFK and they get arrested. It's crazy.
The same thing happened in Jersey. Remember, I think that it was like a guy that retired as an FBI agent, and he was traveling, and somehow his plane got diverted to Jersey. He got off the plane and everything. It's one of those deals where they're like, hey, we'll put you up in a hotel. So he went to claim his baggage, which of course he had guns. So they gave him his baggage and then locked him up.
Wow.
That is entrapment. 100%. Like, no.
Well, the thing that you're supposed, and the thing that you should do if you want to, I think the governor of Jersey at the time pardoned him of that, which is ridiculous. But the thing you should do is don't claim your baggage. Don't claim it.
Just leave it there. They'll take care of it.
Yeah. But you have to just think about this stuff. So I think I agree with Dark. In terms of traveling, if I was getting on a plane and flying to California, I just wouldn't take anything with me. But if I was driving and I had to go through California, I would just have a car safe. I see 42 Chilled saying that. Separate the magazine and the rounds and everything, lock everything up, and put it away. I wouldn't voluntarily tell anyone if I got pulled over that I even had it. I just would not have it on me. And ultimately, we do have this right in America to go from state to state. It's like an established right. You have that right to go through a state.
Yeah.
So
some people think that getting pulled over by police is stopping, though. It's stopping the travel. I call BS on that.
Yeah, that's nonsense. Yeah, they're interrupting your flow. Also, be real cool. If you know this is what you're doing, don't be a speed demon or or even if you get pulled over, don't be an asswipe. We're gonna take a quick break. We're coming right back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. Yeah, never voluntarily incriminate yourself. I think this is important. A lot of people have done it. So like when I got pulled over here in Florida, I have a CCW, and I didn't even have to tell them that I was armed, but I did. That's a different story. If you're somewhere else, you need to, when you're traveling and you have guns, you need to be aware of what's going on and what you're doing, and think about that. we always hear those stories of people going to the airport and they have guns, and they just didn't even think that it was a thing until they got to the airport with it, because they're just not aware of what the laws are. So,
Or say, for instance, not even just guns. Say you're going, guys like us, we travel with backpacks, and sometimes we throw guns in there. We throw ammunition in there, or even a magazine.
knives.
That's
how you lose them.
So say you're just traveling real quick. You grab a backpack that you probably bring to the range one time, and you're not even thinking.
It happened
you don't
to
have
Lola.
a gun.
Yeah,
you don't have a gun on you, nothing, but you go through TSA, that bag gets checked, all of a sudden there's a live round in one of the pockets that you didn't even think of. Boom. Yeah. Boston, you're going to get arrested, you're done.
Yeah. That happened to Lola with a Microtech that I bought for her, I think for her birthday, and it was like engraved and everything. Ooh. And it was supposed to be a travel safe one, but she forgot it in the bag, like here's what I do if I'm getting on the plane, and especially with carry-on, I take I dump everything. I go through every single pocket. That's annoying to Lola, right? But I dump out that whole bag. If there's anything, if I feel the weight of anything in that bag, I keep digging until I find everything in there.
I will pack my backpack and then dump it out like 2 more times just to be safe, because like my OCD, it's like I don't even want there to be an empty casing. I don't want there to be anything in there, or even like a hole. I've gone through and I realized, oh shit, I have a holosun sight adjustment tool, but I'm like, that's not gonna, no one's gonna know what that is. Like, it's like,
but a knife, you'll lose it. Like that Microtech, we lost it, and she couldn't even. The guy wouldn't even let her go back to the car. I think Patrick was actually waiting in the car for, like, Patrick had dropped her off. She was flying out to meet me, and he was still waiting, and she was talking to him, and he was like, just tell them, just let me, take it and give it to my friend that's in the car. And the guy wouldn't let her do it, but the guy also didn't do a report or anything of it. He just pocketed that Microtech.
Oh yeah, I know. That's he's got that now.
So not only do the TSA folks like pocket that ish, but also they literally have a side business, and all of you guys out there can look this up. They have a side business of taking their confiscated or forfeited knives and selling them in bulk by weight. It's crazy. I mean, you'll find the worst knives in the world for will be buck knives.
And some of the best knives. If anyone ever comes across a little Microtech with the Hank Strange logo on it, man, hit me up. I'll give you some money for it. I'd rather just get that knife back.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
They wanted to just go through my entire body when I went to Iraq Veteran with a drill bit in my hand, 9 agents, and I'm like, guys, I'm telling you, it's gonna go off. There's a metal drill bit in there, and all these, like, they had to be at least 6 TSA agents around me, and I'm like, clearly I'm in an air cast. Like, do you think I'm smuggling drugs? Like,
they don't know.
It was the most annoying thing.
They just wanted to fill you up, man.
They literally were like, I was like, the X-ray pictures on my phone. Like, you could see the timestamp. Like,
they wanted to get in those cakes.
I'll tell you what. I don't know how. I mean, it's happened before too. One time I was traveling to Cali, and because I was going to Cali, I didn't bring a firearm, but I checked a bunch of other self-defense items in my checked baggage. Well, if you arrive for a flight too closely to the time it's taken off, they won't take checked baggage anymore. So they were like, "You bring this on the plane," and I was like, "Oh my god!" So I had to go through a flashlight. They were like, "Nope, that has a strike bezel on it. You can't have it." A little OC spray, the little Palm OC, and one of my favorite, it's not this exact one, but I'm like a cold steel knife sucker, and I had one of the cold steel Raja knives in that bag. That itch was gone, and they away from security, or they wouldn't let anyone else walk up to security to take it. I'm like, dude, you're leaving me 2 options: give it to you, or
throw it out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, which I'm not sure would they let you throw that out either? I don't know.
I mean, probably not. That it was basically walk away from your flight, or they won't let you mail it back to you. It won't
Yeah, well,
let you
42 Chilled is saying most airports have a drop box for postal, FedEx, UPS.
share.
Yeah.
I,
And
I would
Dan
love.
Hates You, Dan Hates You says this is funny. He says, according to Reddit, if you have a sandwich, TSA will want to touch your pickle.
Oh,
Raise
but
your
there's
hand if you've been felt up by TSA. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Why? Why do you want to do this? You know what I'm saying?
I can't even wear a knee. I can't even wear a knee brace through security. I have a bad knee,
Yeah.
and my brace has 2 metal bars. And I tell them like, oh yeah, now I got a knee brace on, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, there was one time like, hey, we're gonna bring you to another room. I'm like,
Yeah.
I literally was just standing there like, why?
See,
No,
Joe,
you don't.
this is one of those situations of the person who is like, why are they harassing me? Oh, it's because of me. Um, because you got a knee brace, then you got a drill bit in you. You know, when you're telling this story, it's just going to make that person go, no, 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 no. This
it's
dude, we got to check him. I'm sorry.
yeah. There was
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, how much
Before I-
shit did this guy have in his body and why? Like, how do you get how do you get a drill bit in you? I know it's just a little, I remember when this happened, by the way, Joe, but it's
Yeah,
funny as
yeah.
hell.
Well,
Explain to the people how you got a drill bit. It's not funny, I know.
Okay, so here's what happened. I was like getting stuff ready before I flew down to Orlando because we were going to IV-88, and I was driving up with Rich, and so I'm trying to be, the good gunsmith I am, and trying to do good for everybody, and so I'm rushing around, and that is the worst thing to do when you're working around machinery. So then I decided when a
Lord.
Caltech RDB that I was drilling for a pin and weld job. I had a carbide drill bit. Carbide breaks very easily. When it went to pop up out of the vise, I went to go grab it like a dumbass, and I cracked the bit off, and that is the drill bit resting on my index finger. So yeah, it was a small mistake. Had to get a tetanus shot. It was not fun. I had to
Is
end up
that
having
out?
surgery. Oh
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
out?
No, I had to get surgery to get it out.
Bro, like that. I'm bothered by that. Is that your screensaver?
No, no. I went through my photos to show it.
Okay, quick.
Yeah.
I was curious.
This dude
I don't
has a
have that
lot of
many
metal in
photos.
him. Is that the only place you've ever had metal go into your body? Be honest. Be honest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
No, that's the only time I've ever like stabbed myself and had metal shards. I
Mm-hmm.
probably have flakes of metal from working around the machine, like stuck in my fingertips. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
I've never really checked. But yeah, no, that's it. I don't have a metal knee replacement. I'll probably get one in the future, but yeah, no, that's a small mishap, but
Yeah.
I've
kind of.
enough metallic powder to set off a metal detector. Just pyrotechnics and energetics. But aside from that, like I usually bring like flight specific self defense items, like the cricket key. It's like a little punch dagger, but it looks like a key,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the it's a punch dagger. Another one, it's an impact weapon that you slip your pinky in. It's got like a little spike, and then it comes up here. But it's like, oh, it's a bottle cap, it's a bottle opener, and it's a hex tool, and it's a put a hole in a skull tool, and then another one, titanium
This is
single.
this is Dark's profession right here. Someone said
Yeah.
don't even get Dark started about knives or any of this shit.
Oh yeah,
Like me personally, I go on a flight in basketball shorts and like a hoodie sometimes, and like I'll have my switch, and that's it. Like, and I'll just have my carry on.
Your
Glock switch.
switch.
Huh?
Glock switch.
No,
No,
like my
Switch.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Probably
I figured you were.
we shouldn't joke about that in these days, in this day and age, right? Where it's highly likely that we're being watched. But anyway, moving on. Sorry.
Listen, there's there's all these different books about self-defense stuff that you can do when you get to where you're going. So there's always that option, I think, as well.
Yeah, you
That
can buy, you can pick
yeah,
up some stuff where you're at, and then ship it back to you or whatever. But
yeah, yeah.
like
And
usually when I travel, I
ultimately,
always have a
like
knife.
defense and all that kind of stuff is in the mind, and this is where it starts. And just by you being like a vigilant person and not looking like a victim and being aware of your surroundings and all that goes a long way.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
situational awareness goes big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's times
Like,
I go places if I've got to get on a plane and I just don't want to go through the whole thing. I don't think I've actually ever traveled on a plane and declared a gun. I've never done that. I'll just drive for that and then
I was
take the
gonna
guns
say
with
now,
me.
now you got the van. There's no reason for you to fly anywhere
yeah,
because you
I was
got the van.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I just have to get to that place real quick for whatever reason I need to get there and then I do. But no, I prefer not to. I think last year I flew once at the end of the year. I did something with GOA and I flew one time. That was it. And I think before that I haven't flown for like the last 2 years.
I've flown a few times.
Yeah. So
You
I
know what?
prefer. Huh?
It would be dope if the van could be your SOT, right? Like
Right.
if
Yeah.
the van,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you could do that.
that'd
It'll be awesome if you could do it, but no, you can't. You can't necessarily do that. But if you have a van, there's first of all lots of places to stash stuff. Like right now, I'm not in my van actually. This is a lot bigger. This is
I
like a
was gonna say
Winnebago.
what's going on here? Don't tell me
yeah,
you testing a new van?
No, no, no. My van, there was something that was happening with it electrical wise that has never gotten fully figured out. So I left it with the guys at Sunshine State RV, and they actually figured it out. But I had to leave it there for a while, so I've been borrowing a van from them, which I could show you guys here if you want to see. I can show you the inside at least.
Oh, nice.
So this one's roomy. Look at that. There's like a big bed back there. There's a bathroom and everything. Whole full kitchen.
Look at you.
It's a Mercedes Sprinter, so that's the up front.
So it's
Yeah.
like
You sit
it's like
here,
the van
yeah.
Talon Sai has.
No, it's actually I'll show you a picture of it. It's what they call a B plus or a C,
Oh,
but it's a really big van. So basically, it's a Sprinter chassis with a box on it. So let me see.
all right.
I've got a picture here of this exact one that I could pull up and show you guys.
All right.
I could
Yeah,
do a
so-
video on this. I should do a video on it, but I just have it. So because I've got to do the show from some kind of vehicle because the internet in my house is terrible, and I have to go on mobile internet, which I can't do from in the house either.
yeah.
So I know that's all weird, but
Do you miss the studio that you had at all, or no?
the studio, no, I don't miss that place. No, not at all. I don't miss it because, man, it was really crazy over there. Here, let me show you real quick. So this is what I'm in.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So I mean, this is pretty big compared to my van. It's a lot bigger, but it's a big box. So
Okay,
basically, you
all
got
right.
the Sprinter chassis, and then there's a big box, fiberglass box they put on it. This one's made by Winnebago, and it even has a slide out and everything. So see right there,
that's
that
sick.
whole part of it
Hell
can
yeah.
slide out and
Yeah.
have even more room. So
Yeah,
Dude,
because
that's-
when you said Sprinter, I was just thinking of the Talon's van, and I'm like,
yeah.
Sprinter.
His
But I'm
van
like, oh, wait,
is
no,
the
that's
same
different.
kind. Yeah, it's built on a similar Sprinter, but his van comes as an entire van, and then they
Yeah.
build that's a Class B. That's what my van is, but mine's a Transit, and that's called
Yeah.
a Class B van. Everything is built within the footprint of like either a passenger van. Typically, it's a cargo van, but so a B plus or a C that this is just the front of the front cabin, the driving part, and then the wheels and everything at the back, but not enclosed, and then they build that big box on it. So, yeah. Jen
Yeah, I
Champ
think it's
Jr. says, "Damn, tell them they can keep your van, Hank." No, I love my van because it's small and I could just I could zip around. This is a lot bigger. So
Yeah,
Lola
you
likes
can.
bigger stuff like this. I like my van because I could pull in and out of anywhere. So if
That's
anyone out there wants to buy this or buy anything like this, hit me up, man. I'll connect you with the Sunshine State RV people.
Dude,
You can get the Hank Strange discount. Seriously, not even kidding. What's that?
I've for real considered doing
Mm-hmm.
like some type of either in addition to where I'm staying or like in place of my home
Mm-hmm.
because it's something that's just so appealing now. Having a year old and
Mm-hmm.
going through a recent separation. I'm going through a separation with my wife right now,
Sorry
which
about
sucks.
that, man. That sucks. Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
it's challenging, but
Mm-hmm.
man, so I got to stay within 15 minutes or so of my daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like having that flexibility and freedom of just being able to like get in the van and just be home and travel, like that's special, man. I've
Yeah,
always
it's
been,
fun. It's amazing. I could never go back. So if
yeah.
Lola like made me right now, Lola has me on restrictions. I can only have 2 vehicles at a time. So one of them is a van, and then the other one is my car, which I recently actually sold my R8. But uh,
Really?
yeah, yeah. But if she cut me down to one thing, if she was like, you got to choose, I would choose a van over anything. So
I believe it. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it so like you can do anything. I mean,
yeah.
it's just versatile, you know.
It's like yeah, it's a multi-tool, really. Yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you can live in it. You could get up and go whenever you want to. You could, there's times I've stayed outside of friends' houses and stuff like that. There's times I've stayed out like in the middle of nowhere. So to me, it's man, it's a special kind of freedom, and I like driving. I see it almost like a private plane, but on the roads that you could just get up and go wherever you want to. And you
Mm.
really could live in it. I've lived in my van for a couple of months at a time. So when you guys don't see me as much and I'm on the road, I'm living in that van.
yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be happening this year. But I did sell my R8. And you know
What do
what's
you?
That's
What
great?
do you?
Huh?
What did you trade up?
I have electric car now. I have like a
Oh,
yeah. So I
okay.
have a Audi e-tron GT. That's what I got now.
oh
So
nice.
yeah.
How do you like?
It's cool. I like it. It's powerful. It has like a very similar power feel like the R8, except it's really quiet. And it's my R8 was analog, so this has got all the tech and everything in it. It's cool. I like it. I miss my R8, and actually, truth be told, my R8 is now totaled. Believe it or not, the one that I sold. It's crazy.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, I went to the dealership. So I sold it, and a guy in Massachusetts, he flew down and bought it, right? So I went to the dealership to see what was up. I was going through doing some stuff, and I was like, oh, what's up with my car? And it was out there totaled. I'm gonna show you guys. Well, this is what happened to it. So the guy bought it from Mass. He came down, he paid for it and everything, and then got a company to come ship it, right? And he flew back home. The company came to get it, and they put it up on the truck and didn't put it in park properly. And this is what
oh,
happened to my car. My
Oh
former
no.
my
car, I should say.
god.
Yeah. It
Oh my god.
it rolled backwards and fell off the truck. Now
Oh,
this is like a car that the frame is magnesium and aluminum. Oh my god. So when I go there, they tell me this, I was like, no, this what you guys are saying cannot be true. But yes, that's what happened to it. And so it's
gee.
pretty much totaled. It doesn't look that bad, so I can show you some video here. It really doesn't look that bad, but the whole back of it is all cracked up because
Yeah.
the engine is there and that's where all the weight is, so it fell back on that. And it hit so hard that all the fluids came out. And even here, I don't know if this will cut off before we go to the break, but inside it fell back so hard that the stereo and everything came out, and the dealership told me, yeah, that car is done. You see that the
Wow.
stereo came out, so yeah,
Oh,
we're,
that
we're,
poor
we're
driver he's fired.
yeah, we're
He's
gonna
Oh, no.
take a
fired.
break. We're coming right back. Oh, we should be taking a break. What happened to the break? Oh, hold
Right.
on. I gotta hit the break. With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors, so when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. Yeah, so you know what? I was kind of heartbroken when I saw that. I know it's not my car. Walter was like, dude, that's not your car anymore. What do you care? I care. I took care of that car for a long time. Audi R8s are very valuable. They never made a lot of them in the first place. And I think they only ever made somewhere between 9,000, maybe 9 and 12,000 at the most in the world. And a bunch of those are already off the books. Mine was like a V10. A Gen 1 V10, and I took really, really good care of that car, and it just sucks to know now that it's coming off the books, all the way off the books. It doesn't exist anymore. So at some point in the future, you know what I'm saying? At some point in the future, I might have been able to go, you know what? I'm going to find my car and buy it back or something like that. No, that one's toast.
Yeah. Dude, that's the worst.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I remember.
I'm still heartbroken.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You go ahead. Good.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say I was heartbroken when I got in my first car accident when I was like 16 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
My first winter up here, I had a 1986 Chevy S10 Blazer. It was a two-door, two-wheel drive, and I lowered it 3 inches around the ground with low-profile street tires. This thing, I was.
I've seen those Blazers, man. So yeah, people had nice Blazers.
Yeah, this thing was sick. Me and my dad painted it. Like I put some serious work into this car. Like I worked forever to get this car.
Mm-hmm.
My first big snowstorm, I was on my way to my dad's house and wrapped it around a telephone pole.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get hurt?
I hurt my shoulder a little bit, but they took me out on an ambulance, and it was kind of a bad wreck. But I was more pissed because like that car was like, I mean, like, yeah, it's an 86 Blazer, but like I put so much work into that to where like that was like my dream car. And granted, it's an 86 Blazer. You could probably find them somewhere. I did find one eventually, but it was like out in the Midwest, and it didn't add up. Like if I ever find one around here, I'm buying it and I'm like redoing it.
Yeah, as time goes on though, they don't make Blazers like that anymore. So it's time.
Yeah, it was the square. It was the square body too. So it was like,
yeah, that's so crazy. You're the only dude I know that's like, nah, I wasn't hurt. They took me out of there in an ambulance.
Yeah, you were hurt. Remember, he put a drill bit in his hand, and then got on a plane.
I was like, that's how. In your hand, right?
I mean, I like to party, you know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, obviously. My first car was a 1986 Honda Prelude, and a similar thing happened to it. It got totaled out like that, and yeah, I was really bummed about that, man. You don't even see that many of those Preludes out there anymore. Like that, yeah. So
or like RXs, or like those older ones, but so. I've been through mostly Toyotas and Toyota-esque cars, and my aside from the Avalon that I had, the 2013 Avalon, till almost 300,000 miles, loved it. But I upgraded from that, and I got a Lexus ES 300 and whatever. But I loved it, man. Like that was
is that the coupe? Was that the coupes or
it was a 4-door sedan?
The 4-door sedans. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
And it was a 2017, but it was like 18, 19 when I got it. And so I got it for like a crazy steal. And man, this was my first like grown-up car. So it was quick. Of course, it's not fast, right? But it was quick. I could roll around with my daughter in it, like all that. And one day, I am 1 month away from paying it off. Okay, and those cars will run till 300,000 miles.
A Toyota, yeah, forever.
Yeah. And it's a Lexus, but when you strip off the parts, trust me, I saw it. They're Toyota stamps in there, right?
No, but Toyota did Lexus really stepped up luxury before Toyota started making Lexus. Man, you were only looking at BMW and Mercedes for that kind of level of luxury. when they came out with Lexus, Toyota changed the whole game.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
made like that
Mhm.
more
Mhm.
standard,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And I was 1 month away from paying it off, and I
Mhm.
only had under 100,000 miles on it. This girl um, took a off ramp by accident, wrong turn,
Mhm.
and admittedly, she said this afterwards. She backed up the whole way down the off ramp,
Mhm.
back to the highway, and then rode up to the shoulder to where the shoulder was like almost running out, and close to where the overpass is. And I was going like 45. It was decent traffic, not
Mhm.
crazy, but I had like 2 car length in front of me, and this chick was sitting there with her hazards on, no blinker, and literally just jumped out in front of me. And I
Oh.
had a car in my blind spot,
Mhm.
and she smashed into my front fender. It dragged all the way down and then smashed into the back. It was like boosh, boosh. And
Oh
I,
man.
I start freaking out, and I'm like, oh my God, like, and she said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm in a rental because I just totaled my car 2 weeks ago."
Oh.
Dude, it's yeah. It still bothers me to this day because I'm like, man, I could have had that car in my life, dude.
Yeah. 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 That man, it's so crazy. Like with cars, like my son was his car. He was on the highway and he got hit in the back by this woman. Because traffic was slowing down, so he was slowing down. The car in front of him was slowing down, and this woman was not looking. I don't know what she was doing, but she just came right up. He said, "Yeah, I could look in the rearview mirror. I saw she was coming, but I couldn't do anything." She just
Yeah.
hit him so hard that he got pushed into the car in front of him. So his car was basically sandwiched, um, and she didn't have insurance, and she was from Georgia, and the cops let her go,
Oh,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have insurance. So
And
like
it's
our insurance has to pay for all of that. They have to pay. It has to pay for like what happened to this person, what happened to his car.
oh my
She
God.
doesn't have any insurance. Who knows what'll happen? And those people are always going to try to sue you.
oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And
So
that's
we're. Hmm.
it. If you bump the car in front of you, it's your fault. Like
Well, in
that's crazy.
Florida, if she hit him, it's her fault, right? Technically, in Florida, it's her fault. The
Oh,
problem
okay.
is, like, when the cops came, she's not a Florida resident. She's a Georgia resident, and she didn't have the insurance on her, and they let her go, and then they found out she doesn't have insurance.
Wow, that's
So that
crazy.
means, and then Florida makes you get for the what is it called, like uninsured motorist or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you ultimately have to pay for that in Florida. It's
yeah.
all on you,
It's like
So
motorist claim. It's like $200 or $500 or something like that.
yeah, yeah. So we're going through that right now, and believe it or not, the insurance company is actually fixing his car, but it's been weeks and weeks and weeks because it got hit
I
all
can't
over.
in Massachusetts. You can't even register a car without insurance.
Yeah,
Um,
Virginia's.
I don't know what the deal is with Georgia, but she was driving around and she had no. He got a picture of her plates and everything, but there's nothing we could do.
That's crazy.
She's not in Florida, so and then
I
she
was gonna
didn't
say
have
you could go
insurance.
you could go for like civil, but like in like small claims. But
Yeah.
do you really want to
Yeah.
go through all that hassle?
It's probably not worth it. Probably not worth it.
Yeah.
Kurt of 24 says, Hank, did Walter really like the electric car you did the video on? Yeah, he liked it. Shout out.
That's my.
Who's yeah, that's one of your dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me say this. Yes, Walter did like the car. Let me see if I can show you guys what my car looks like now. I don't know if I have a
And
picture
that's
on
just
here. Huh?
too. We got viewership.
Huh?
Yeah. Kurt 24 is a channel member of both of us
Oh,
on
awesome.
YouTube.
Awesome.
Great,
Okay.
good dude.
Yeah. So let me see. I think I have a video here that I could probably play for you guys. Hold on. Yeah, right here. This is my car. This is
Nice.
the new ride here. So
Look, paint, man.
huh?
The paint is just like super shiny, man.
Yeah, it's Mythos black, and then I made them black out all the badges and everything on it. And
Nice.
it's like a little stealth bomber and all that now. So Walter did like it. He took it for a drive. He liked the fact that it goes fast, real fast.
Yeah,
It
dude.
gets up. It gets up and runs. Mm-hmm.
Those electric cars are crazy, man. I'm sorry. I
Mm-hmm.
feel terrible. slight delay. I don't want to
Oh no,
seem
you're
like
good. No, I don't. I'm not noticing it. I don't know. Joe might be.
I've gotten to the point when you're on a stream with Dark, you're just gonna have to expect
Anything goes.
anything goes.
well, and
Okay, we're supposed to start at 9:30. It ends up being like 10:25.
It's all good. It's all good. Look here. Oh, let me see. This is. I don't know. I shouldn't even.
But
be
as we were
looking at
talking
this.
about earlier, Hank,
Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys this. When they had my car in the dealership, when they were selling it, that's what it looked like.
That's sexy.
That's my car right there. Yeah, yeah.
That's dope.
And,
So can I take that for a ride if I ever come down?
hell.
No. That's the R8. The R8's toast now.
Oh well, no, I'm talking about your new car.
Oh, the new one? Oh, well, you got to talk to Lola about that. You got to negotiate with Lola on that. See, I even took a picture with it when I went there in the showroom. I was like, man, this, I was kind of sad. I was like, man, I should have never given up this car. But they made me a really good deal on the electric car. And I was like, well, I want to see what it's like to... I bought a Model Y and then Lola took it over. So Lola has an electric car. Now I have an electric car in my van.
Model Y, is that a Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm riding a Mazda 2. It's a little
Okay.
Matchbox car. I'm buying
For
it for
real?
my mom.
yeah, Mazdas are cool, man. I remember
Dude,
when I had a Mazda Millennia. Remember those Mazda Millennias?
No,
Yeah.
but
No?
honestly,
Yeah, those are
it's a
cool.
small car. I'm used to driving small cars. I've had Kia Souls and stuff like that. My car I had got flooded, so I made a claim to my insurance. My insurance totaled it out, paid off my car loan, I was astonished. I made money off the deal, I was like, all right, sweet. But I went to go buy. I was like looking for a new car, looking for like an SUV or something like that, and it's just the rates are out of control. Like I had good credit, and they wanted to run me like 8% interest, and I was like, no. I used to be one of you guys. No, that this is not how. This
Cars
is
are
go.
expensive now. Yeah, new cars, man. Like the average car payment for people now. I was reading this. The average car payment is $900 a month.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Everything's gotten expensive. Like even pickup trucks.
Oh yeah.
Pickup trucks are $90,000 now. $100,000.
A 2022 Ram Rebel. Last I saw, because I like the Rebels. I've like when I
me
sold.
too.
When I sold cars, I sold Rams.
Oh, okay, yeah. I had a Rebel. Those are cool cars.
Yeah, I love
trucks.
the Rebels,
And it's even exclusive to that industry. I mean, like everything is more expensive nowadays, man. Like we're losing control, and I think the majority of like the general public is just dealing with it, and they're like, what's going on? I don't know why stuff is more expensive.
But the car industry is exceptionally bad. Not only are the payments high, like the amount of months that you're making those payments has increased.
96 months, over 100 months.
Back in the days, 36 months was a long time.
Yeah. When I was selling cars, an average like length, if it was a lease, you could do like, I think it was 36,000 miles for 3 years. And then it was, for a loan, you could do 60 months, 72. If you had like really, really, really bad credit, you get like
72
80.
was a long time back in the days.
And then I saw someone get 96 months on and I was just like, this person's getting screwed. And it still haunts me to this day because I felt so bad. It haunts me.
So, okay, speaking of very expensive things, I want to see if you guys can. So, just recently, yesterday actually, I installed a $700 trigger into a firearm. Who wants to get?
Wait, hold on. A $700 trigger, and what gun did you put it in? Oh, you want us to guess what gun?
Yeah,
I know.
Okay, High Point.
Nope. It's he put a Franklin Armory binary trigger in his MP5 AP5K.
Oh, boom.
I didn't know it, but I knew it by the price because that's how much they are.
Yeah.
Boop. Oh.
Oh, well, shout out to the Franklin Armory dudes who they sponsor the show, by the way.
That's what.
Yeah.
Shout out to your peoples and got like this. This is how we help keep the industry alive. We need to support.
By the way, Barton Fink just says, "Was it a Franklin MP5?" So there you go.
I'm so good at that with the Franklin stuff because like we sell Franklin binary triggers at work, and I can tell what you're trying to put it in just by the price of the trigger.
Right.
Like,
yeah. And by the way, let me shout out you two guys here on something, because I'm going to say this. A lot of people come on the show, like they come on the show and they don't even share or whatever that they're coming on, which is fine. It's cool. It's kind of like, if I go on something, I try to share it and do what I could do. But, I could tell you guys share that you're coming on the show, because there's a whole bunch of people that are coming in for either one of you guys that are out there. So shout out to you and all of the folks out there who came in for you. And kudos to actually sharing that you're coming on the show and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. Because those folks are coming into Utreon. Do both of you guys have Utreon channels?
Yep.
Yeah.
My whole back catalog is backed up on Utreon.
Okay, cool. So make sure what's yours, Joe? Just let's make sure everyone out there goes and follows Joe Shooting Gallery Annie. It should be something like that on Utreon. I
believe it is. Okay, let's go. I think it's. Hold on, let me see if I can get to my profile.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm still trying to fit. Oh, here we go. Go to channel. Here we go. Mm-hmm. It is. I think it. Yeah, just shooting. Yeah, utron.com /C/ Shooting Gallery NE.
Yeah. The way I always tell people is, so like if you go to Google, just do Utreon, right? And we gotta spell it right first of all, so that's important. If you got big fat fingers, like, oh my god. I cannot get that there we go, Utreon, and then just putting Shooting Gallery NE or something like that, and you should be able to search, and boom, there it goes, right? And you want to support him, you can actually subscribe and all that and support him, and all his stuff is up there. Oh, look at that. The stream.
So everyone was like, "Hey, you still doing a stream tonight?" Because I just moved the podcast, the Shooting the Woods podcast, from Monday to Wednesdays at 8:30 because I'm getting better engagement there. So I am I'm liking it. We're getting a lot more people, we're getting a lot more viewers in the live feed, which is good. So I'm doing that. Hopefully, I'm trying to set up a lot of new people to come on the show. Oh, God damn it. Hold on.
And honestly, like, guys, I mean, like, Barton Fink, Kurt24, Chamber Defense, like, you guys coming on and supporting, like, Hank Strange and Utreon, like, that is so important, because the reason that, like, Hank has committed, and honestly, Hank, I commend you and Lola and you guys committing to Utreon and then having YouTube as a backup, because it's not easy to be the pioneer of shit like this.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah, it isn't. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's not. But we might as well do it. Like with all this stuff that happened with even my main channel, right, on YouTube, that I got like a bunch of videos deleted, and I got one strike, and then so they suspended me from being able to post. But Babyface got the whole channel deleted, and I know that some of the bigger guys out there were able to get their stuff reversed. None of our stuff has been reversed. None of it. No. So we don't have that kind of influence. So
mine either.
Yeah. But before we go forward, Joe, I want DLD to tell the folks out there where his thing is. So if you search it, DLD After Dark, boom, there he goes. See, same thing. You can also subscribe to him and support him, and there you go. He's got content. Oh, he did something with Babyface P. Man,
good show.
I heard you got a strike off of that, but
so I actually, funny enough, I didn't get a strike. Got demonetized, and that was the first. So I have been green on every stream for like almost a year and a half. It's been some unique things, some very unique things, and I monetized the stream, but. In the defense of what I did there, I was having Babyface P on, and I was like, I named it YouTube, censorship, strikes, canceling, like every. I named, so that was my fault.
You wanted it,
and just face P in there was probably like that's enough to do it.
Yeah.
For me, when Dark comes on my show, it's automatically yellow.
Really?
Automatically. Him, Tony
wow.
Simon, and usually John Crump. And they're just those three. Whenever I have those three on, instantly yellow.
If we ever see behind the scenes of YouTube of what they've done to us all as gunfolk, it'll be worse than we even think if we ever get to see what's going on back there. I don't think anyone will ever investigate it, but
I hope.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that American Gun Chick, I think, was on Timcast. I think she posted something.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break. Let's take this break and come back and talk about that.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC.
Yeah. All right, so you were saying, Joe, about American Gun Chick. What happened?
Yeah, she was talking about how she was on Timcast, I think.
Okay.
And she was talking about YouTube censorship. So people are starting to get hey, the 2A community is getting screwed by YouTube. I haven't watched the full video. I was just I woke up, I got home and I'm just checking my feed. And I'm like, what? Oh, dude, one of us got on something.
Yeah, that's cool. I haven't seen anything about it, but I'll have to look into that.
The thing is we've always been targeted by I can't say we, right? I'm only two and some change years into this, but
I'm 4,
the firearm world has been targeted by YouTube because of wrongthink, right? And they believe apparently Joe actually mentioned this, that when clicking a video that you say you have firearms in it, that that we're supposed to click harmful or dangerous acts, and I refuse to click that. I will not click. I'm sorry, and not saying anything bad against you, Joe, because it's just the plan, right? But now after January, whatever changes they made to the algorithm, whatever they did, I mean, this hyperdrive, and apparently there was said within YouTube that what they did, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, so we'll just say that I'm not saying. What they did is they accidentally.
I think Guns and Gear was talking about it. So Guns and Gear has a video out about it. And according to his video, it was a mistake. They said they made mistakes, but basically, what's happening now is, I don't know if people understand this. So the YouTube algorithm, for a long time, they could, for at least the last couple of years, they could go through there and know everything you say. So they can recognize gunshots and all that. But now these algorithms are able to recognize guns and even what you're doing with those guns. So, for example, Instagram can tell if you have a gun and all that, but it's gone further now that they could see what you're actually doing. So I think what was going on is somehow the algorithm decided that if you're putting in a magazine, putting on a suppressor, things like that, that's a problem. And so people started getting flagged for that. But not only in the gun world, even video game players were getting flagged for doing the same things in a video game. And I think what was happening there is you get flagged by the system, and then the people picking it up are not here in America. They're overseas somewhere, and they're obviously just trying to do their job, make some money. And so they let that strike go through and hit you or whatever. And then all that stuff just builds up on you, and a lot of people got strikes, stuff deleted, and in cases got their whole channels deleted. This is what happened to Patrick. He got hit for suppressor stuff, me as well, but he got the whole channel deleted. Now, some of those big guys they've got reps and things like that, and people that they could talk to, and they were able to reverse some of this. And I don't want to say I think that there were folks out there who were trying to help other people, but ultimately here what's happened is the big guys have gotten their stuff reversed and the smaller guys have not gotten their stuff reversed. And even in my case, I'm over 100,000 subscribers, and technically I hear I'm supposed to have a rep, but I don't have one. I've never spoken to that person since I hit 100,000 subscribers. At around 50 or 60,000, YouTube deleted my channel and I got it back, but after that everything's been hell. It's been downhill from there.
So, yeah, what's happening now is that they still have those policies in place, and they may have reversed it for the big guys, but the smaller channels out there that don't have the influence or the pull to be able to do anything about it are just kind of like asked out, I guess, at this moment. Maybe things will change. We'll
Yeah,
see. I doubt it.
and the I mean, like you're saying, it was kind of like set into like zero tolerance mode or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Because I'll tell you,
Mm-hmm.
man, video that I got a strike for was literally just a Glock 33 sitting on my work, and it just was like, so I had showed this blue Glock. Oh, you know what? We're on Utreon. Shit, I'll show it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had showed this Glock 33, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little tiny guy with a with the appropriate. I don't have it here. The appropriate 9-round magazine in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now it is a polymer 80, right? So that may have had something to do with it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just sitting on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and the video literally said verbatim, "Hey, what's up, y'all? You wanted to see more about the Glock 33?"
Mm-hmm.
Basically says like, I forgot what it was exactly now, but it's like, here's the Glock 33. Ask and you shall receive. Right now, you can get ammo that's pushing 2,300 feet per second, damn near rifle ballistics out of a pocket pistol. Boom, and I got a strike.
Mm-hmm.
I responded to the strike. I appealed it, and I had said, "Hey, this is a handgun with a 9-round magazine, not being modified or changed in any way. I didn't cite like anywhere to get a gun or anything like that. Like, I think this was an error." And the appeal came back and said, "Nope, not an error. The strike
Mm-hmm.
is staying on your channel."
Yeah.
I don't understand what it could have been.
Well, no, it's that. I think that, so what we don't realize is that these things are getting more and more aggressive, and they know everything that's happening, and they're monitoring everything. Now, YouTube might have made a mistake in terms of they didn't intend for this to become a strikeable thing yet. Okay? So
Yeah,
maybe some part of the algorithm was overreacting, but they are testing the ability to see everything that's happening in a video, including you putting in a magazine, putting a suppressor on something. Obviously, they can listen to what you're talking about, etc. Now, so they started hitting people, and people started getting deleted. I think it became a problem for them because the big guys do have people that they can speak to over at YouTube and make us think about it. And then if enough of, like, so all of us were out there posting like, hey, I'm getting this, video deleted, strike two, we were all
yeah,
posting that, so it was trending. And then there were, I think,
I wasn't.
politicians were getting involved and all that kind of stuff. So ultimately, I think something was done for the bigger guys, and I get it. Like Armory and Axis says, follow the money. I get it. Those are the guys maybe making the big money for them, so they respond to those guys, right?
yep,
But they didn't really. Maybe they didn't really mean to do it at the time. But what's happening is they reversed it for the big guys that were able to make us think about it. But they've pretty much at this point left it in place, and those things are still in place. So I can post now on YouTube, but that's because I went through the time period that you go through for that first strike. It's not because they removed the strikes. And Babyface Patrick, he's still deleted, and his strikes were based on putting on suppressors. So none of that's been reversed, and I don't think it will be. And I think we're gonna come to a point where they're gonna do this again. They're just testing. They're just
yeah,
preparing. And at some point they're going to come back again, and they will even hit the big guys. So I think that's the reason why you see even the big, and I'm not mad at any of those guys, I'm telling you. And even some of those guys, I'm sure, were out there trying to help us. So I'm not saying, I don't want people to think that they don't care, because I don't think that's true. I think
yeah,
at least some of those guys do care and do fight for other people, but maybe YouTube doesn't give a shit. And at some
yeah,
point they are coming for us. So we need to not like just, breathe a sigh of relief and go, "Oh, I'm going to stay on YouTube." Just get ready. The apocalypse is coming.
yeah.
It's
Yep.
going to happen. We better have a plan before we get there. You better have your library somewhere else. You better figure out how to move your audience over, or at least make them aware of what's going on. So even though my channel is 127,000 subscribers, I'm not putting those videos back on YouTube. I'm going to put videos on YouTube that I think are safe, and nothing's safe. But I'm really going to use YouTube to funnel people over to Utreon And I'm doing that because we can actually communicate with Utreon. People tell me, no, go to Rumble. I don't know anyone at Rumble. I know it's created by conservative folks out there. The conservative folks don't give a shit about us as gun guys either.
That
No.
algorithm is all political. Is a lot of political videos that are getting pushed.
Yeah.
Like I have my stuff backed up on Rumble too, and like the views are nothing.
Yeah.
And that was that like almost that purge of a lot of strikes in some channels that got deleted. Like that's happened before, but it wasn't to this extent. So,
Well, and just a quick thought. So looking at Rumble and Odyssey and all these other places, like at what point would they be willing to sell for whatever price to Alphabet or YouTube, right? Like I could picture, like I don't know anyone or their integrity well enough to say they'll never sell out for for whatever amount, right? I don't believe you would give up on what they believe in. From at least what I've seen, I don't think they would ever compromise on their own integrity.
Yeah. Well, I would hope not. I mean, you never know, right? Money's money. If somebody gives you enough money, I have things I will not do for money. Okay.
Yeah.
And I believe, like, men should have a line they won't cross for any reason. And money is definitely, like, not a reason that I'm going to cross certain lines. However,
like like glory holes.
Yeah, glory holes. No, I haven't got it. Life hasn't gotten that bad yet. I don't know if that's a lie. Anyway, so, but the thing is that I think one of the problems I have with places like Rumble, and I don't have a specific problem with Rumble, but let's look at the Truth, right? Which is this thing that Trump started and all that. I've had my posts on Truth blocked, censored on Truth, right? And that's my thing with Rumble. I think Rumble is good for like Dan Bongino, that's a part owner, and all these other guys that are part owners of it, and they're doing, as Joe said, that conservative political talk. I think it's good for Louder with Crowder. I don't know if Tim Pool and all these other guys are on there. I don't really care. But I really see, and I don't feel this about Bongino. I'm not saying that. I don't know Crowder or any of these guys. I think a lot of those guys are full of shit when it comes to what we care about.
Yeah.
Right? I don't really see them. I don't see Crowder as really being a gun guy, and I know that we're like, our podcast is sponsored by some of the same gun people in some instances, but we're not in the same category of being gun guys. And I don't know. I know Tim Pool, people think, oh, he's a gun guy. He's got guns, or he got into some kind of shootout or whatever. Okay. But where do you really see him, fighting for the Second Amendment and all that, right? Here's how I feel about a lot of conservative people. This happens to me with politicians here in Florida all the time. Republican politicians, I see them, they go, oh yeah, I'm a gun guy, I believe in the Second Amendment. I'm like, oh, where do you go shooting? Oh no, I don't have any guns, but I believe in it. And that's fine. You don't have to have guns. You don't have to go shooting. You don't have to own a bunch of guns or anything like that. But we are in different boats, and it's lip service when a lot of these folks say that they give a shit about the Second Amendment. We can see this in Congress right now, right? There are Congress folks out there. There are representatives that we have that do care about the Second Amendment, like Boebert, Luna, what's her name? Something Luna. You guys, someone will tell me what her name is. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, she's a congresswoman from Florida, and Boebert, I think, is from like Montana or something like that. But these are all Congress folks who were like holding up the election of the Speaker of the House, right? And they were doing it so they can get some so they can get some power or some leverage there in Congress. There are a few people out there who give a shit and are doing things about this, but most of these people really don't care.
Yeah.
They really don't give a shit.
Their reach is limited, just as, like you're saying, you got 127,000 subscribers. I mean, that's right. Like Boebert, she's going to be throttled or old as far as her reach. And I think most of out there that are kind of faking the funk or fronting in the rental, they're like, you don't truly believe, or the people that have the reach, like I had heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I had heard a group of guys, they got on a forum and they literally wrote an AI like software like thing, AI software to run through every video the Demolition Ranch has ever posted ever, software to see if he had ever referenced the Second Amendment or like rights in any of his videos, and it was zero. Somebody with he's never even addressed it like that. Those are the people that should be taking a stand for our natural rights. Like that's crazy, you know.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before, and I'm in the middle of it. I do agree with you. I think that he's making a lot of money off the gun world, and it's if he really cared about it, he would stand up in some way for it. I think though, on the flip side of it, he doesn't, because he is making so much money and he knows that immediately he would get smacked upside the head. YouTube used to talk to me. So before they deleted my channel, they used to talk to me and they would tell me all the time, do like anything else except guns. And they were even like, well, why don't you do like 20% guns and 80% anything else? And I said, no, I'm gonna do this. But see, eventually they hit me upside the head, right? They deleted the channel, even though I got it back. They put all these. I don't think my channel should be 127,000 subscribers. I think it should be way more than that. But at 127,000 subscribers, when I put up a video now, I'm lucky to get 1,000 or 2,000 views. I'm telling you. And there's no, that's not normal. And every now and then, so a couple of months ago, I put up a video with Sam Andrews, and that's 400,000 views. So I know that I have a wider reach than they are allowing, but they are controlling that. And so the reason why I'm saying all that to you, I think the Demo Ranch knows that as well. And he's big enough that he's talking to people, and they're like, dude, just don't do the political thing. Do I think it's right? No, I don't think it's right. Like, I'm going down with the ship on the gun thing, right? Now I'm doing other stuff. I'm doing van stuff and all that. And trust you me, in the van world, I've been vetted because I'm a gun guy. So I'm doing things in the van world, and there may be some people who won't deal with me because I'm a gun guy, and there are people that because I'm a gun guy, they've gone through everything that I've ever done to see what I've said and stuff like that, and it's all good. But I understand that from his point of view, because if he started talking about the politics and everything, he would definitely go down. Now, do we know what so we might know for a fact that in his videos he doesn't talk about the Second Amendment, but here's what we don't know. Does he give money to 2A pro 2A organizations? Is he behind the scenes doing things? If he wasn't talking about it on his channel, but behind the scenes he was fighting for it, I could live with that. But I don't know. It's possible that even with that, he doesn't give a shit. Who knows? I don't personally know him, so
If there was like any with the movement, like, so for an example, like the jig business that I started, the only thing that did that was to keep private manufacturing of modern firearms in the privacy of people's own homes with zero governmental overreach. And I knew all these companies that were selling frames and parts and all that, they're not going to out of that business just to sell jigs, right? I also that I want to do this, like, whether it's gun related content or gun related building business, like, this is what I want to do. So those two things would kind of fuel each other and it would help. But I didn't do it with the thought of like, oh man, like I'd be able to like achieve these things with the business and the channel. They've just kind of been able to help feed each other, and I'm grateful for that. But I also understand that I guess I can't expect everybody to have those same standards, and I don't
the same conviction that we do. Everyone's not necessarily going to take that risk. And I don't know. At some point they're probably going to take me all the way out of the gun game. I'm pretty sure of that at this point.
We may Unfortunately, so and so gun guy. I don't want to say this happened to you. So,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, so and so gun guy commits suicide. He shot himself twice in the back of the head. Like they're just gonna start taking us out, man. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get
Well, they're doing
totally.
it. And speaking of which, like in the minute that we have left, FPS Russia is coming back. And in my opinion, he was taken out of the gun game.
Yeah.
They took him out on some dumb shit. And we couldn't even get him pardoned when Trump was in office, even though Trump pardoned rappers that did worse
Yeah.
shit. And
And
listen, I grew up in hip hop, right? So I'm fine with him pardoning Lil Wayne. I don't think he should have pardoned Kodak Black, my personal opinion. But we couldn't even get FPS Russia pardoned and all that. I heard he's coming back. I haven't really looked into it.
Yeah,
Go,
I
Joe.
saw CRS Firearms made a video that he's coming back. Like, is he coming back and doing firearm stuff?
I don't know. But it sucks that they took him out, and he was huge before Demo Ranch. That dude was the biggest,
He was
in
huge.
the game. Yeah.
he was
So
the big, like
yeah,
Dugan.
yeah.
We're like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's take a break and we'll come back and talk about this a little bit more.
yeah.
The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran owned and with over 20 years experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com.
Yeah, so just to revisit on that, like I don't know, did anyone get a chance to look at CRS's video? I saw it too. It came up in my feed. I have not had a chance, I'll be honest. It's been really, really, really crazy for me
Yeah,
the last
it
couple
was.
of weeks.
So he didn't have like a confirmation that he was coming back. It was speculation based on what happened. Like the reason that he was locked up and like would he be pardoned, and it's crazy to like with the pardons. It's crazy to see, like, for an example, Bill Clinton pardons Susan Rosenberg, who was convicted weather underground terror. It was called 500 pounds, of explosives.
Right.
And like
The shooting
that, and then
gallery freeze? No, he's not frozen.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
like she's running BLM now, and it's like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts who gets pardoned. I know. Well, here's what it is who gets pardoned, by the way. It's money.
Yeah.
Okay, if I don't know how much into hip hop you guys are, but if you remember
Pretty into it.
Lil Wayne, remember he sold his catalog? Remember he went through this whole fight to get his catalog back from Birdman? And then he's well, I don't know if he sold it or he leased it for a long time before he was going off to prison. He did that for the money. Some lawyer out there, this is legal blackmailing or bribery or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because you got to give a whole bunch of money to this lawyer who knows Trump. And then then that guy can talk to Trump as the president and go, "Hey, pardon this dude," right?
Yeah.
And we can't get Joe Exotic pardoned.
I don't know if I want him pardoned personally. But listen, we couldn't get FPS Russia pardoned, and that's crazy, right? And he didn't do anything gangster to anybody.
Well, so there are
Well,
some about his friend that was dead. I don't know if you guys about
Yeah,
that
but
part.
see, what I'm saying is, like, we don't. So, okay, with that, I know there's a whole bunch of rumors and stuff like that floating around out there. We don't know anything about. Me personally, I don't know anything about that. Right? My dealing with FPS, which I have met him a few times in that I've been in the gun world. He's always been a cool dude. So I don't know like anything. Who knows? You don't know people, right? Out like unless you're best friends with that person or you're living under the same roof with that person, you don't know. We don't know what happened there. I think what happened to him though is someone at the Justice Department related to what was maybe going down with the other stuff, and they feel like, hey, we couldn't pin him on this, we'll pin something on him, because what he got hit for, in my opinion, is bullshit.
Total
Okay,
bullshit.
and we're decriminalizing that in America. So I don't know why he got hit for that.
Well, they're constantly doing this, and so for an example, you remember Marine Gun Builder?
Mm-hmm.
So Marine Gun Builder had a channel with, I mean, thousands of videos, millions and millions and millions of views in a short period of time, and he's the one that made the P80s and the Strike 80s,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, the information easily accessible for
Mm-hmm.
people to just and build.
Mm-hmm.
And he was targeted by the DOJ.
Mm-hmm.
They had a task force specifically just for him, for getting his website info,
Mm-hmm.
his Facebook info, to get all these people, and they were designated, or they were being called domestic terrorists,
Yeah,
which is
we've seen the ATF go after other YouTubers. What's the name of the Damn it! What's the name of that skinny guy that wears his hat backwards or sideways all the time?
CRS.
the
Yes, it's
CRS problem.
CRS. Yes.
Matt,
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, so listen, it's in terms of like what's going on with Demo Ranch. Like I said, I don't really know. I think I've met him one time, and we really didn't interact long enough or whatever. But he seemed like he was cool and all that. It. I get it. I can see both sides of that coin, and I understand maybe why he's not doing it, because there's other folks out there paying the price, and it's the reason why like Iraq veterans should be way bigger than he is. You know, Military Arms Channel, Mr. Guns and Gear. There's a whole bunch of folks out there that should be way bigger than they really are. What happened?
yeah,
You know,
I,
and those are guys who fight for the Second Amendment. So that's what happened.
yeah.
That's
No,
what
you're
we're
right.
all feeling, because we have people on. So you guys were talking about, oh, I had this person on, and things happen. Every time I have GOA people on my show, I get smacked upside the head just because of it's GOA people. This has happened over and over again. YouTube has deleted it sometimes, or demonetized it, all kinds of stuff, right? Because they have these people on lists, they show up on things, they hit you. This becomes another flag that you have that's like dragging you down and all of that. And here's the big thing, the big point I wanted to make about this. Where, though, are those organizations? And I'm a fan and a supporter of GOA,
Yeah,
but I don't see them out there fighting this fight for the guys like me that are fighting for them.
I
I don't
agree.
know if there's anything they could do, but we could talk about like Demo Ranch having millions of 10 million people following him, but what about all the big companies that make tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in the firearms industry? How come they're not doing anything?
Yeah,
Where are
you're
those
right.
dudes?
A lot of those organizations like GOA and others, a lot of them have social media platforms with a lot of reach
And
that
they
don't
get
necessarily.
they get attacked as well. And what I'm saying to you is, when I talk to these people, they're like, what can we do? And when I talk to, whether I'm talking about Pro 2A organizations or gun companies and all that, and I'm like, what do you mean? What can you do? First of all, this is not a car accident where we could get a lawyer for free. You
Yeah,
know, the lawyers are expensive. So what we can do is get some lawyers to get on this case and start suing these platforms. And here's what they're really afraid of: discovery. See what happened with Twitter, where Musk bought Twitter and started exposing what's going on behind the scenes. YouTube doesn't want that. Facebook doesn't want it, obviously, through Instagram. Nobody wants that. Okay, what's happening right now in Congress with all these former Twitter executives showing up and having Congress scream and shout at them, no one wants that. So but we need lawyers, but those lawyers are expensive, and I'm nowhere near being able to pay for what those lawyers cost. Now, if the industry got together, or if, the Pro 2A organizations got together and funded these lawyers, we could push back. And it doesn't just benefit me or you or even us collectively as gun guys who talk about this stuff as content creators. It benefits the organizations as well. It benefits the industry as well, because they look. What was it? Recall Magazine got deleted, right? AmmoLand News got deleted. Well, they all got their stuff back, so
yeah,
they don't really give a shit what happens after that.
yeah, yeah,
Right? They're not going to write any articles about me or you or Babyface still being deleted or still being attacked on YouTube or suppressed. But we're
yeah.
all in this boat together, and we're actually all going down. I'm willing to do this. I can make a ton of money doing anything else, like YouTube said to me. Why don't you just do something else? And I'm willing to do this and go down doing it because I'll know, hey, I fought, even though I didn't win, I fought, and here it is. I fought all the way up to the end, now it's over. But ultimately, we're all going to lose when this happens.
I agree, and I think that you're on the right track where, like, if we got together collectively and we pulled resources together, we pulled, somebody like the GOA or even other organizations too. I know the GOA tends to play nice sometimes with others. If we pull resources together and we were to say, hey, let's sue them, let's take them to court, and let's get a motion of discovery, and let's see what's really, like, let's get if we could crack it open for just a moment and just get an idea of what they're truly doing to us, because
they wouldn't even let it get that far though, Dark. I don't know what Joe thinks about this. Joe, is everything good?
Yeah. I'm just letting you guys.
I know I'm ranting. Me and Dark are kind of go, but you know what? I honestly think, guys, they wouldn't let it go that far. They do not want people to see what's going on behind the scenes.
I agree.
I definitely, and that's the thing. You could have GOA, NRA, FPC, you name it, any Pro 2A organization. You could have them all. You could have every major outdoor channel, gun channel, be plaintiffs on this. They don't want this. You're never gonna see. You're never gonna get the true answer.
But I think they'll back off because there are people who have. I can't remember the guy right now, and I don't have the article right in front of me. Otherwise, I would show you guys. But I think I have spoken about it on air. There was a guy, not in the gun world, but YouTube was censoring him, and I think tried to delete his channel and all that. He sued, and YouTube did not want discovery. They gave him all his stuff back and backed off.
Which begs the question: what are they truly hiding? And that's kind of what. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of my thought, right? Like, so I've always made the claim, and this may be an extreme comparison, but so something like Ukraine, there's been evidence of politicians and companies, pushing money through Ukraine for decades, right? So I always kind of thought that, like, Ukraine, what's going on over there was basically them burning their Boxer receipts, right? Like, no one's ever going to find out what happened here. Boom, right? I think YouTube, although it's an odd comparison, but hear me out. I think YouTube is going to basically have two options: do anything they can do to keep it going, or burn it all down. There's no compromise. There's nothing in between. If they got to a point where it was like, oh my God, like we're gonna have to open up our books or show the software and algorithm or whatever, they're gonna burn it all down. There's no way they just couldn't do it.
Because I feel like a lot of it will be criminally liable stuff that they're getting up to behind the scenes. Look at how scared the Twitter. I mean, have you guys looked at any of this stuff going on in Congress with the Twitter guys? C-SPAN is good to look at, man. I know it's kind of like boring or whatever sometimes to look at that stuff, but I'm seeing like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I know she's one of those super conservative stars. She's MAGA and all that. I've got no problem with that. I have no problem with her either. But she was cursing those guys out. She had them, and she was like, "You're not even going to be able to talk." So, usually you get pulled in front of Congress, and that congressman has 5 minutes. They ask you stuff, they never let you answer.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm not even going to let you talk because you outright banned me on Twitter. So I'm gonna take it away from you." And she was just telling him off, And this is what we need more of in America. And these social media platforms are afraid of that. And that's why I feel like if we got the powerhouse of lawyers together that can push the right paperwork forward and all that, YouTube will back way the fuck down.
Yeah.
But ultimately no one wants to do it. As long as everyone saves their channel, they're like, okay, well, I'm good.
Like how I think one of the perspectives is, how could we fight a juggernaut like that? Like how it is an unstoppable juggernaut that, these people are sitting there like, man, I don't know how to compete with that. And then they pull up cat videos and start going through YouTube shorts. Like everybody is into YouTube somehow, whether it's, gun stuff or car stuff or cat videos or, how to find, a DIY project or something. Like most human beings that are alive in the world are using YouTube for something. So I found the power in, though we haven't effectively done anything yet, the power of channels coming together. Like I've only got less than 4,000 subs, right? But us three together
those are strong dudes, though. You move people to come over here, man, that I don't see here, not necessarily all the time, right? And I appreciate that. It's, it's like, what's that thing about the bundle? Like, this stick on its own, I could break it. I put this bundle of sticks together, it's almost impossible to break this, right? That's really what it is. And that's what I've always tried to do, by the way. That's why I started this podcast and been doing this for years and spending a shit ton of money in order to do this. Of course, there's companies that you guys see here that support us. So I'm not saying every company is bad at all. There's lots of companies that support us, right? And we appreciate that. But I've been doing it because I realized people would tell me, "Oh, you got to pay your dues. You got to wait for this. We'll let you know when we. And I was like, "No, I want to help people. So instead of waiting, I'm going to start helping people." So the fact that we're small, man, that doesn't mean anything. You could be way bigger than me. Patrick, I met him. I was already doing this, and he was someone who hit me up and said, "Hey, I could help you out and do some stuff." And we helped him build that. It makes me really mad. He says he's not mad. I'm pissed off because I wanted to help him build a channel as a way for him to have his own engine that paid him back, that he didn't have to sit around and wait for me to do something for him. Now we still do stuff for him, but I wanted him to have his own thing. And he had that, man. And that dude was approaching 40,000 subs. And I've never gone viral. Patrick had a video that went legitimately viral. Right?
It was a suppressor video, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So my thing is, don't believe that because you're small that you have no power. You do. If we get together and we somehow figure it out, hey, we might not be on YouTube anymore, but we might be way ahead of some of the big guys right now that are like, screw it, man. As long as I'm good, I'm going to keep rolling. One day, YouTube is going to crush them. And then they're going to be behind the curve trying to get over to something like Utreon. I can't guarantee you guys Utreon's going to exist. I don't have any ownership of it. I don't really know. I've had those guys on and spoken to them. I think they're cool. But if it's not Utreon, it'll be something else like that. And we have to make the sacrifice and build that so that it actually exists. Even if at the end, when it happens, we're not there. If I'm not there, it's cool. But if it helps to build something that other people can be there and literally talk about this thing that's in the Constitution, then to me that will be fine, man. I'll be an old dude out there living my life, and I'll be able to say, you know what? I played a part in that, just like I grew up in the 80s in New York City and played a part, my small little tiny part that no one knows about in the hip-hop world. I'm proud of that. I don't give a shit that I don't get any accolades or whatever for it, right?
Nice.
So
I was unaware.
But that's where we are. That's where we are, I'm saying, And that's what we're doing ultimately. So
I mean, I agree. I think if we all band together and we either remove, because obviously we know that we're running tight on time, but YouTube pays partners to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. If we do one of two things, bring some type of lawsuit against them or remove as many people as possible from the platform, it's going to hurt them, right? And most people think we've just stayed despite constant battles. And even when you just think something might be happening to your channel, you're like shaking your fist in the air,
Yeah. Well, what happened to Joe, and this is why I'm trying to get Joe, I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to say anything about it, but what happened to him on TikTok pisses me off as well. Like, you were legitimately building something on TikTok. Now, I think TikTok has a lot of problems, but you were legitimately building something over there, right? Yeah. Can you hear me? Looks like you slowed down there for a sec.
Yeah, I started TikTok. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. I started TikTok on a joke because I didn't take it seriously. And I made a couple videos that literally went over 250,000 views in 2 days. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that growth.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started for 500,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
I had one video that got over 500,000 views. It was me pinning a mag on an HK VP9.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 500,000 views, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And within, say, 10 months, I'm at 13,000 followers. I was at 13,000 followers before I got the nuke. I've been doing YouTube for 4 years, and I'm just about around 2.2 thousand, like
Mm-hmm.
2,200 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
13,000 followers in 10 months. That's astronomical growth.
And that's
I
work
wish I
that
had
you
that
put
growth
in as
on
well.
YouTube.
That's work that you put in, right?
When I'm not doing anything wrong,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I don't have any of that content anymore. I don't like all those videos. They're like, no, there's no backup on TikTok, so all that content gone forever.
So wait, you didn't have that on your phone or anything like that?
So that's the only.
Yeah, I
Yeah, the
know there's a
videos
little
aren't.
bit.
Yeah, if you make it, I think on TikTok, if you make it through TikTok,
Oh, oh, damn.
if you make it on TikTok, it doesn't save to your phone.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so all that content's gone. That's the biggest part. That's the one thing that really bothers me is that all that content's gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't get it back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I have a backup account, and like I post stuff still, and it's suppressed. Like, you know, it's like I can't get mad at because I knew it was coming. Like, but I didn't care. I still wanted to get my message out there, and I still wanted to get. If someone learned something from the videos I made, or if someone was like, "Oh wow, you're shooting a Sig 210," that looks kind of fun.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com.
Yeah, sorry, Joe.
No, it's all good.
You're like on potato power right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I could see Dark was like, "Oh, he's not gonna make it."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
go ahead,
understand.
finish that thought.
Usually
Yeah, finish the thought, man.
but yeah, like if I was able to like help someone in a decision to get a firearm, or if
Mm-hmm.
they learned something from my content, I did my
Mm-hmm.
job. But it just sucks because now I had such a reach. I do a live on TikTok, and I'd have probably close to 3,000 people in the live.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's insane numbers for 13,000 followers.
Yeah.
If you transferred that over to YouTube, I would be 5 times bigger than what I am now.
Yeah. Well, I would say that remember that it's you. This is what I want to say to you, Joe. I want to say it to Dark. I want to say it to all the folks out there who are content creators and then gun guys at the same time. You know, the creativity is on you. You are the creative person. What happened there was you. Your work, your art, your creation is what led to that. And so therefore you can keep doing that, right? So
Yeah.
I would say don't give up doing what you're doing. And let me just tell like this little story from my point of view, because people ask me like, why do I still do it, right? And even Lola sometimes says, why are you still doing this gun thing, man? It's just so tough, And I'll tell you why. Because every now and then, this story that I'm going to tell you happens to me. A couple of months ago, I was in Arizona. I was doing something. I think I went all the way out to the West Coast, and I was coming back home. And I stopped in Arizona and at this diner, and I'm just in there like just by myself eating and all that kind of stuff. I've been on the road doing a van thing, and there's a dude in there who saw me and he recognized me from the gun world, and he came up and he was thanking me and he was like, "Man, I really appreciate everything you do." Random guy. Never met that guy before. Never saw him. I don't know if I ever will again. But that happens to me all the time out there, and I'm sure that happens to you guys. And that's why I do. Yeah.
It happens to me at the shop. People come in from the shop and they're like, "Oh, I watch you on YouTube," and I'm like, instantly, I'm just like, I'm too humble, and I'm like, "Oh, thank you, I really appreciate that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay," and I kind of like, I get kind of like taken back because, like, again,
that's because it's powerful. It's a powerful thing.
It is.
And it's what feeds me and what keeps me doing this. Would I like to make money at this? Yes, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? I'm a capitalist. I would love to make money. That's why I don't want to knock Demo Ranch or anyone else out there that's making money doing this. You know, I get it. That's cool. I don't begrudge anyone that. But that thing of people out there, like human beings, realizing and recognizing that I've done something for them is what I appreciate. Other than that, I'm doing it for myself and I'm doing it for my kids so that they can have access to these rights that we really need in order to survive as a human race and not be enslaved. That's an important thing for me, so that's why I do it. Dark, I think you wanted to say something. I'll let you say that.
Well, no, just the same kind of thing. Like, so the first time that I was ever like recognized, and if this guy's out there, I'm sorry. I lied and I said I wasn't dark. And
that's you. That is so you. I believe it.
I'm walking into a store, my wife and dog, and like right at the front, this dude walks up and he's like, "Yo, are you dark?" And I was like, "Oh," and I always felt bad. And I can kind of tell that he was like, "Oh, all right, you're with your family." But when I was walking up to SHOT Show, I had even jokingly said something that day that I was like, "Man, like no one's gonna like recognize me, you know what I mean? Except people I have relationships with, right?" And I walk in, I swear to God, I walk out of the Uber, I walk up, I don't even get to the front door, and I hear somebody say, "DLD, are you dark?" And I'm like,
nice.
Like, is that how it turned into paying for a burrito at the airport?
This is how he wound up. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
I was gonna say that.
I was gonna bring up something about glory holes.
No. The burrito story is classic. And
one day when we have more time, I'll tell that story.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And you know what? The gun fans out there, the Second Amendment folks out there, they exist, man. And they're in the gun industry and, you know, they're all over the place. And they're awesome. And that's a big reason why I do what I do. If anyone cares to know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I totally agree. Yeah. And I think, like you said, like if you helped one person make a decision to get a firearm, like what if they were Massachusetts, right? And they didn't know that you could pin a mag on a VP9 or you know whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Now he froze. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
I don't know what happened to him. Anyway, listen, we got to start wrapping up. He'll probably come back in. I don't know. We'll just leave him right there on the screen, frozen. We'll get Dark back. But why don't you do this, Joe? Because we're wrapping up now. Tell the folks out there, how can they support you? I mean it seriously. People listening to this, watching this, support Shooting Gallery New England. Good dude. Let's try to get him out to a free state somewhere. Tell the people how they can help you out, support you.
You could first go to Shooting Gallery NE on YouTube and hit subscribe. If you really like the content, consider becoming a channel member. It helps keeps the lights on. You could also check me out on Utreon. You could check me out on Rumble, Instagram, TikTok. It's now Shooting Gallery NE_backup. And then you could also check me out on YouTube at 3D Printing Joe. It's my new 3D printing channel.
Okay.
So, look at that. He's back.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's your turn to tell the folks out there how they can support you, Dark. And by the way, if you guys see Dark out there, don't let him get away with pretending that it's not him.
Yeah,
even if it's not him, don't let him get away with it.
If I'm like, no, no, I've matured. No, but so I had to move down out of my gun room downstairs. So my apologies. Let me just set this down. So Dark with DLD After Dark, DLD After Dark on YouTube, and also DLD After Dark on Instagram. If you build 80 percenters, and if you're into that shit, I have a website called DLD Hardware. I sell jigs. I've also developed my own jigs that are built with additive manufacturing, and I sell those as well. And also, I'm backed up on every other platform, so that's where I am. And lastly, I just want to say one last thing. The reason I do what I do is because I believe that every single human being has the natural human right to build modern firearms in the privacy of their own home with zero governmental overreach. So I want to keep that going.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've got a couple of things here before we wrap this up. I do want to thank the whole audience for coming in here, hanging out with us. I've seen it's been very active in the chat, and this has been a great conversation, man. We actually should do this more. I like this combination. I'm gonna tell Lola that the combination of like Shooting Gallery New England, DLD After Dark, and it was a good convo.
Cadabra.
Yeah, this was a good convo.
Yeah,
I like this. The time went by real fast. We never had to like. There's a whole bunch of shit we were supposed to talk about we never even mentioned.
Hey,
that's always a sign.
We call it live.
That was always a sign of a good show, and I would like really ask the folks out there to support these guys. Look at what they're doing and all of that. I'm like the old dude in this. These are the younger guys in this. Shooting Gallery New England, DLD After Dark, guys like Devin from Trenchwork Chronicles, John Crump. These guys are the ones who are picking up the baton in the next generation and doing this, and I think they deserve you guys' support. So big thanks to you guys for coming on and doing this here. I'm not gonna be. We're not doing one of these tomorrow because I actually have to take a trip down and go check out the dudes at Armslist. So you guys may see something from that go up, but I'm gonna go hang out with Armslist tomorrow. So that's what I'll be up to.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do though. I am gonna run in the end, and we're gonna come back. Which one of you guys is gonna hit us with the words of wisdom?
Dark.
I'll take it. I love that.
You'll take it? Okay, cool.
I'm
all right,
right.
so let me run in the end here and we'll be right back. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to rip the audio out of this, throw it up on iTunes and all your favorite places to listen to audio podcasts. We're also on Audible, believe it or not, and we are part of the Firearms Radio Network. So you can find us on there. Shout out to those guys. So as we get out of here, big thanks, like I said, to Shooting Gallery New England for coming in. We actually rescheduled him and everything, so I appreciate him being patient with us.
Man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's cool having DLD here. We haven't had him for a while. DLD, drop some wisdom on us, son.
Yeah, so first off, I just want to say thank you for having me on, having us on. I love your show. I've always been a fan of yours and Babyface Peace. Thank you. And Lola's awesome too, so you guys are great. As far as the words of wisdom, I end every single stream that I do the same way, and I have for 2 years. And it's rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that you're kind in everything that you do. That brief little interaction you have with somebody could have a massive impact on their life. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. And lastly, number 3 is we know that the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. So make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you.
Awesome. Well done. You need to steal that next time, Joe.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
take notes.
Take that. take that away there, homie.
Yeah, thanks so much. You guys stay right there. Thanks to everyone out there. Let me press the buttons and end this. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.